Hey everyone, this is Anna here, and in this video I wanted to show you my clay trap that I built myself. And this is a 3-bucket system clay trap, and that's mainly because I have a septic system in my house. So I'm preventing the clay from going to my leach fields on my backyard, and I don't want to cause any problems with my septic, so I try to prevent or use precautions as much as I can. But this is right here where it comes the water. This is mainly just clay water, and it has no odor. In case people are curious, it does not have any odor. The only time I had a very bad odor here was when, believe it or not, I tried using bleach once because I thought maybe I would see the clear water would be more clear, because there's some sediment that stays here on the wall. This bucket is clear, but you can see the clays on the bottom there. But anyways, never try to use bleach or anything like that, because from what I researched, bleach kills bacteria that eats up the stuff that is in the water. So just like with a septic system, right? They say you shouldn't use bleach. It works the same way here, and that's when I started. It had like a funky smell. But anyways, all it took was a few days for things to get back to normal. You can see here, the water is not super dirty, but it's clay water. But you will see that when I am emptying it out from that bucket into this bucket here, that the water is not like super dirty. So I will show you how I do that. And also I wanted to show you some of the parts that I used just to build this whole system, it wasn't difficult at all. But when I was doing it, when I was making this myself, I couldn't find information on the parts that I purchased. So it was like a trial and error. But now I know, and I would like to pass the information along to anyone that is interested in this system. If you have in your house, if you do have a septic system, I would suggest you build something similar. It doesn't have to have all 3 buckets, maybe only 2 would suffice. But that's the only reason I would be making this video if anyone is interested. And the accumulation here of clay, let me come closer here, is about, maybe I have like a 4-inch of clay in here on this bucket. So maybe I should have cleaned before, but this is about a 2-year period that I haven't touched this system, which is when I built it. So I'm thinking maybe once a year I will be cleaning this out like I will do now to show you guys. And I will show you, like I said, how I take everything apart. And in the meantime, while I do that, I'll show you the parts that I used. So here is a piece of clear plastic tubing that I bought, flexible. And I just filled it up with water. And so all I have to do here is my bucket where I'm emptying the water from here, just the clear water. And I'll put this in the water here, and I'll let this go in here so that it siphons the water. Yeah, now it's working. So now it's just, it works like a siphon. It's just taking the water, and you can see the water is not super dirty. That's just clay water. And I will empty it out, the whole thing, which I don't know how long it's gonna take, but I will show you how I dismantle everything. So this is a view behind the bucket that was here in the beginning. It was like that. Let's see if I can back out some. There you go. So this is the bucket that was full. So I emptied it out, and it was about this much of clay in here. And I didn't bother recycling that. I just threw it out in the woods. So I cleaned it, and this is what is behind. And this is what goes into my system. That's where it goes, out on the drain. And this is the trap that was here, like that. And then there is a line that goes from here into my bucket, like so, like that. It connects to that big bucket right there. And believe it or not, this one had some sediment because, as you can see, it's one of those flex pipes. So I had to clean a little bit. It did have a little bit of clay, so I just rinsed it out. But this piece here, that is the regular trap that you see under, residential sink. It's like this. Believe it or not, this one was clean. As you can see here, I didn't have to clean inside. This is how clean it was. To my surprise, I thought this was going to be full of clay sediment, and I was gonna have to clean it out. That's why I took everything apart. But I'm so surprised that this bucket system really filters out the clay, and only the water goes through and out on the drain. Out, whatever drain system you have. Also, even if you don't have a septic system, I do recommend this system that I have because it keeps everything from getting clogged. And you can see here, let me show a close up here. See a little bit of clay there on the pipe? And this is the one that comes out from that bucket into here and then out on the drain, out to the trap. But that's it. That's the amount of clay over 2 years. This is over a period of 2 years. So this one here, which goes, from that one into this one. And I had another little one in here, which I don't think I even needed. I took it out. So rather than being now a 3-bucket system, I eliminated the one that goes here, and I had little holes that used to go into this bigger one. But it wasn't almost any sediment of clay, on the bottom of that bucket. So I didn't see the need for that one. So I'm just gonna keep the 2-bucket system. So here it is, the bucket now, it's almost empty. And you can see a little bit of the blue on the bottom there. Let me get it closer. So you see the amount of clay sediment that is there? It's not even an inch. So this is what accumulated over 2 years, or close to 2 years, on this bigger bucket. So if I have to go through these and clean once a year, let's say once a year, I'm gonna try to do it like every year. On the beginning of the year is gonna be my routine of cleaning the trap. And it's not too bad. I mean, this is the first time that I'm cleaning, and I think I waited too long, but it's not really that bad taking everything apart. So I just wanted to explain something quick here. This is a bench that I built. I think I've shown that on the other video. Just don't mind my mess. I will organize everything that is there. So I use this to store my clay. When I buy clay, and I stack them one on top of the other. So I need to organize this area. But anyways, it's also my workbench. As you see, I still have a mess with my glazes there because I've been working on this. So I put my sink here. When I built this bench, it's all the way on this side because it gives me the rest of the countertop as a work area. Anyways, I put the sink, and this I'm explaining because with everyone would be a different situation depending on how high your sink is and the pipe that comes from your sink, the drain, and then the distance, the height, this distance from this to the pipe that goes into the wall. Like me, you know, it's right there, that white piece, which is gonna have usually you have a trap here behind your sink, and that's for the stuff to stay on the trap, right? So here, because it's in my studio, I want to have a clay trap before it goes in a regular trap that everybody has. And that's what this is for, this bucket. So I will go over, I'm gonna do my best to go over with all the materials that I used, but just take in consideration that everyone will be a little different depending on how your drain goes into the wall, and also like for the pipes length and whatnot, and the size of the buckets also might differ a little bit than mine depending on what size you want. So you can see here that this is just everything here pretty much I bought at Home Depot. Anyways, when we moved here to this house, all they had was the pipe going into the drain, and the ones that is the hot and cold water. I put everything, all the other hoses with the valves and everything, I did it myself. And so the first bucket that's gonna be under the sink, like that, and I put the hole because the pipe that is going from here, just to direct the water so it doesn't splash. I made a hole. I just cut it with a hot knife, and I melted the plastic so that there is a pipe going straight down, which is this one here. So this one goes from here into here, into the bucket, like so. So it depends on how the space you have here in between. You might have to prop up like I did. I put two pieces of plywood, and you do whatever you can to adjust the height. That's what I did here. So this bucket here I have, and also I couldn't use the lid that comes with this because it was kind of tall, so I had to improvise and use a lid from another bucket because it's more flat lid, so I put it here. All this really protects is from bugs and stuff falling into the water. So this one is a Hefty 16.8 wide by 12 inches deep by 14.24 inches in height. It's a 32 quart. So you might need something bigger or smaller, but this was great for here, for my case. And so what I did is, you want to put the hole that goes into the next bucket as high as you can, because you want the water, right? That's the water, the clean water that goes through the second bucket. So this is nothing but a they call it rain barrel fitting, and it's meant to be like almost like a bulkhead fitting that fits in between. It sandwiches together, like in between this, and there is a thin wall. So people used to they use these in rain barrel for people who collects the rain. They put it by their gutters outside, and then you can connect whatever you want here. Like some people have a hose and they can use that water to like water the plants and whatever, So that's what this is a bulkhead fitting. So it has a gasket in between here, and then it has a gasket on the other side, and you screw them together. So you have to put the hole in. I have little saw a round piece, and you can just drill the hole. And so that's what this is. Now from here, all that is going to have a pipe, a PVC pipe that goes from here into this huge bucket here. And then from this bucket, you know, I have 2 holes. So let me put it in here so you guys will have a better idea. And so here is the piece that screws into here. And I'll use a little Teflon tape, you know, one of those plumbing tapes, just to make a good connection here. So this screws in here like so, and then goes directly into this hole here. And it's really, there's nothing that is sealed or anything here. All I did is on this one, I made 2 holes on this big bucket here. And the first hole where the water goes from this one to this one has to be higher than the other hole where the water is gonna drain into the pipe that is on the wall right here. So it's hard to see here, but it's slightly, this one is slightly higher than that one. So all this is, it really doesn't even have to have this piece. You can see I just made a hole here. And then all this is like a pass-through, like that. So it goes from here to here, and is on a little bit of an incline so that the water flows from this bucket to here. So again, you would have to adjust and calculate how high it is. It doesn't have to be much of an incline. You know, something slightly would do, because all you want is for the water to flow into here. So it's just a small tilt of the pipe. If it is flat, it will be hard, right, for the water to flow. If it is a little inclined, it will flow. The part that goes from this side here into the drain that goes on the wall, I just bought something that worked out better for me from Home Depot. And if you take a little diagram of what you want to make, and they will help you out. At least the one here close to my house, they were very helpful. They gave me, this is the bulkhead fitting again, that goes, you know, has a gasket that tightens. And so they sold me another fitting that screws in, because inside here it's threaded. So it's not only threaded on the outside, but it's also threaded on the inside. And so this would be part of a trap, right? That goes into the trap that goes to the wall. It connects into that. So they sold me that fitting that screwed in here. And then there is another reducer fitting so that, let me see where it is, the part that I want. Oh, it's right here. So that I can tighten this piece. So this part is part of a trap. So if you buy a kit that is a trap kit at Home Depot, let's see, it's like this. That's how it works. Trying to film and do it with one hand, it's kind of tough. So it goes like that. I'm not gonna tighten right now. I just wanna show you. Hold on, let me put it all together and I'll show you. So this is what goes from here to the wall, like that. And this whole thing is nothing but a trap kit that you can buy from Home Depot. So this being the regular pieces for a trap, for a regular trap, right? The only really special pieces were these ones that I'm showing it to you here. And that, my friends, Home Depot helped me getting all these. So here I tighten that. It's all hand tightened, so you don't need special tools. I did use that cement for the pieces that you want to leave permanently, like these two fittings. I used that cement, plumbing cement, to have them glued in there permanently. And all the other pieces will be hand tightened, like this nut here that goes around, tightens, has a gasket inside, and as you tighten, the gasket expands and holds the pipe inside, all by hand, no special tools. Again, this one is nothing but a pipe that takes the water from one bucket into the other and dumps it in here. And let me tell you the size of this big bucket here. Let's see. I think this one, I can't remember if I bought it at Target or Home Depot, but it is a large 19-gallon capacity, 23, about 23 inches in length by 17 inches in width by 16 inches in height. So it is a large one. And so when you're ready to clean, what I did is I marked the pieces that I need to, see, I just put a dot with a Sharpie. That way I know those are the only pieces that I need to really loosen to take things apart. So, which is this piece and the piece that goes in here on the trap. That's about it. Let me know. I will try to make a list of all these pieces. So I connected everything, all the pipes are connected, and as you can see, the pipe that goes down from the sink, just go about there. It could even be a little shorter, it doesn't matter. All that really does is directs the water down so it doesn't splash everywhere. I might even cut a little bit so it's a little shorter, but you can see that it's filling up. And then as you use the clay stays on the bottom. The water drains from here. It goes through this pipe into the big bucket. So now the water is starting to flow from this one. As you can see, all the way on the top, starting to flow from this bucket into the big bucket, and there aren't any leaks whatsoever in here. Nothing leaking, dry. So far, so good. Okay, so there aren't any leaks, which is great. I just checked. There aren't any leaks here. The water, as you can see, is now going through that. Oh, let me see if I can get a better. Yeah, so it's coming here, it filled up, and now it's going out of that hole. See if I can zoom in a little more so you can see. See how it's going on this hole here and to my drain on the back through there, and there aren't any leaks. Yay! No leaks. And let's look at it on the other side. Right there, there aren't any leaks anywhere. Yay, success. My clay trap is working the way it should. Woohoo! That makes me happy. So now I just need to put the lid on this one. There is a latch on each side, and there is one on this side here. There. And I use this to put some rags because this is my wedging table right here, and I keep some rags on top of this. But it is working, guys. Woohoo! Well, I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and hopefully that will encourage you to also build one for yourself. And please let me know if you have any questions. Like I said before, it all depends on your situation, on how it is under your sink, what space you have and whatnot. Calculating the height is important. Like I said before, the water goes from this bucket here into the second one, the second huge one. And so there is an incline coming down here. Then the hole that goes to the drain is a little lower, also on an incline to the wall, to the hole that goes to the wall, the trap. So that's what you have to make sure. There is always a small incline so the water flows, and it should just work. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.